Hello, welcome to our channel. As we adjust the camera, we don't have a camera crew, we don't have a backup crew, we don't have a makeup crew. We are who we are. We tell the news. We've been that way since 2007 when I went to Russia to stop that nuclear conflict. We just are who we are. And you are the greatest audience in the world, the smartest, the most active in the entire planet. And we appreciate having you. There are over 500,000 of you every day, although they give us, I think they gave us, 3,000 hits. Woohoo! If Trump doesn't care about Air Force One going down, the warnings that he gets from God, then he probably doesn't care about uncensoring people. But we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, in the news today, there are riots worldwide. They're breaking out as we get closer to this magnetic anomaly, a planet in the astral plane or upper astral plane. You see, Lucifer's 90% truth and 10% lies. He likes to twist the truth. I was driving past the school zone at 15 miles an hour. I was driving past the school zone at 95 miles an hour. You see, I changed one letter from 1 to 9, and the entire sentence changed meaning. So that's what he does. He twists the truth. Well, there are apparently 69 planets in our solar system, and gravity has to do with the higher electricity, not the electricity we see on our plane of existence. We only see a certain amount. We're in the third degree plane. So anyway, that magnetic anomaly, as it pulls on us, the riots will get worse and worse because people have no idea what's going on and they're just going to react to what they feel. So anyway, a little bit from our advertiser. What do we got? We got some daily cleanse. We got some, my favorite, sea vegetables. You all know that I use those every day. I eat a lot of sea vegetables. And we have 15-day cleanse. Now be careful with the 15-day cleanse. We got this from Get the Tea. Be careful with this because it has senna, aloe vera. It has a lot of really good things. It has, boy, it's hard to read. Medium chain triglycerides, licorice root, which is really good. It helps you breathe. Has lactose, bacillus something or other. Psyllium husks, flaxseed powder, and aloe vera. It's very powerful. Make sure when you use Get the Tea, you follow the instructions. You don't need Metamucil, Schmetamucil, Getamucil. You need to go herbal so it doesn't destroy your kidneys and liver. So I've gone to Get the Tea because I want to keep my kidneys in my liver. Anyway, 928-308-0408. And yes, there are massive chemtrails today. HEALTHT is increasing the chemtrails from the 55th and 60th Air Wing, Dryzen Air and NASA. So don't tell me I've been asked to say he's doing a good job, but I'm still sneezing because of what he's spraying on us. And the Tacoma School District, 30,000 students, is asking for $750 million. $750 million to teach 30,000 students. And they made a mistake on a ballot where they're asking people for $750 million. It'll go through. We're a democratic state. We follow the demons. The CIA put the demons in charge. The Council of Five elected a demon-possessed governor. The governor can't see me because he's too demon-possessed. I shook a governor's hand about 25 years ago, and boy, was he loaded with demons. Walked into his office, there was the state of Washington business license right up on the outside of the door, displayed prominently, his business license for the state of Washington. There are 5 people who control the state of Washington. They own the state of Washington. All corporations, well, you don't have owners, you have controllers. And every year they have to pay the state fee for licensing. So they made a mistake. Basically, the city of Tacoma, we pay $70,000 a year. That's $8,000 a month to educate the school children. Why? Because we've been funding the Democratic Party for eons. And the terrorists, Democrat terrorist, hate the blacks, start the Civil War to keep slavery, start the KKK. This is all Democratic stuff. Democrats, I call them. So they are spending, if you take the $8,000 or $70,000 a year that they're putting into the kids, and only 50% graduate. That means for every graduating senior that graduates from high school, $4 million has been set aside for his education. $4 million. Why don't they just set the $4 million aside, and when he hits 18, give it to him? I mean, we got kids in high school at 20 years old graduating and flunking out at 20. It's not the kids, it's the teachers. They've been hiring under affirmative action for eons, and all the debt they've been increasing the debt and increasing the debt and increasing the debt to the point where they need several $billion a year just to pay the interest on the debt. This is for 30,000 kids. Enrollment's declining. Over half of them are illegal aliens. Trump hasn't decided to remove the illegal aliens. He's decided to talk about it, but not do it. The government, and as of Saturday, there will be a government shutdown. Why? Well, first they said because we were funding too much for this, and then we weren't funding enough for that. We weren't funding enough. How can you make a mistake on a ballot asking the public for $750 million? Total incompetence within Pierce County. Absolutely incompetence. Pierce County and King County sway the votes every year for this state. There are two people who do that, and there are two people who are paid to do it, and quite a few of the assessors have admitted it. Anyway, no action by the president to arrest him or stop the illegal fraud. They're not even arresting this Muammar Muslim in New York, and he's about to tax the wealthy. He's going to start pulling money out of their bank accounts, seizing it. They're getting out of New York City. He was elected illegally and he wasn't arrested. Trump didn't arrest him for illegal votes. Trump didn't arrest the Arizona government for illegal votes. Oh, and the FBI went into the county to find out all the illegal votes. They didn't arrest anybody. They didn't arrest the governor of California for making treaties with the World Health Organization. That's treason. They didn't arrest the Minnesota governor for saying, I'm at war with the federal government. This is no arrest Trump. He wants a civil war. So as the Earth swings closer to this magnetic anomaly, this planet in the astral plane that's magnetized and affecting the Earth, he wants massive civil war across the planet. He doesn't care if Air Force One crew dies. He doesn't listen. He took off knowing what was wrong, or his crew knew what was wrong. He ordered it to take off and they had to return. That's 2 downings of Air Force One in what, a month? Well, I care. Anyway, the government is going to shut down on Saturday. They're saying, oh, because of ICE, we're going to shut down because you're funding ICE. Oh, yeah, I'm going to shut down. You know, Ilmar, they're spraying us like a sucker, man. Screw Higseth. Anyway, the government shutdown is on Saturday, and the Democrats are claiming that it's because of ICE funding. Well, ICE is funded through September of 2029. The supplemental bill already passed. We're spending $12 trillion a year, and we're only collecting $6 trillion. The IRS only collected $1 trillion off of income tax. When Trump took office under Obama, or when Obama left, Trump got in office. In the second year in office, the IRS was collecting $6 billion in revenue. Now they're collecting $6 trillion. Now they're collecting $1 trillion. The economy has sunk that low. And on to the news. Ilmar Omar is supposed to be in Washington, D.C. fighting for the country. Instead, she's in Minneapolis rallying all the black Somalis saying, let's go kill ICE, let's go kill ICE. So one of her paid employees took a syringe full of vinegar and sprayed it on her. Oh, she put a Band-Aid on her head to look like she's a victim of ICE. Why is she still in this country as an illegal alien, Donald John Trump? Why is she still here? Why is that illegal alien still here? Why is Ted Cruz in the Senate as a Canadian citizen? What the friggin' is going on in the White House, Donald John Trump? We saved your life and you tell me that. Actually, what you're doing is you're doing that to God, so nobody's listening to you. Oh, they're all saying they're going to invest in America, but where's the factories? They're not being built. Anyway, Ilmar Omar should be out of this country. And the Department of Homeland Security, Tom Homan, went to the Minnesota governor, the man who's committed treason and killed several civilians. He's paid them. His Democratic organizations have paid them to attack ICE, and they've been killed. The murderer who admitted to sending out hitmen to kill people, Tampon Tim, is not in jail for admitted murder. Instead, Tom Homan negotiated a decrease in the number of ICE agents. We don't care if you have 1,635 murderers and rapists in jail, convicted murderers. Go ahead and release them. We don't care. That's the state of affairs. The people are getting mighty upset with a worthless Trump, an absolutely worthless Trump who wants to go to war with Venezuela, Iran, who wants to have a conflict in Iraq. He just told the Iraqi government, don't elect him as prime minister or we won't support you. He's starting conflicts all over the world and in the United States. If he was a man, and I doubt he's a man, I think he's some kind of weird creature. I really do. Somebody took over Donald John Trump's body. And he isn't arresting those governors who have admitted to sending out hitmen to kill people. There's something wrong up here. And it starts with Susie Wiles. She wants Air Force One crew dead. Otherwise, she would have let Air Force One crew, she would have decensored my channel and they would have gotten the warning. And now there's rioting around the world because other governments are doing exactly what Donald John Trump is doing. The president is not arresting those who are committing treason, and he's raising the government spending by 15 to 25%. This new defense bill raising $1.5 trillion for the defense. That'll increase our budget size. Unbelievable. Anyway, so the U.S. riots, people are being paid from the federal government. The federal government has sent out money to these rioting groups, and Donald John Trump, the president, he hasn't even shut down nokings.org. He just picks up the phone and say, Google, shut it down. They eliminate the server. He hasn't even eliminated nokings.org. Unbelievable evil coming from the White House. These people are paid to riot, and they're paid to try to kill ICE agents. And the people who organize this and pay them, they're not even getting arrested. Now, the rioting around the world is about the same. The government doesn't give a rat's rip about the people. They've all gone underground. I mean, the Ayatollah is honest about it. We've gone underground. The Trump administration is claiming they're at the White House as they look out the Oval Office and they see mountains in the background. There's no mountains in frickin' D.C. It's flat as a pancake. My favorite one was when a Biden double was in the White House and a pickup truck pulled up to the second floor window. The Oval Office? The Oval Office was on the ground floor in the studio. That's why the curtains are different, the pictures are different, the rugs are different, the desk is different. Just a little bit different. Lucifer lies. 90% truth, 10% lies. He changes the desk a little bit. Can you find Waldo in the crowd? Can you find the curtains being different? Can you find the window view being different? Satan is in your face. Trump is in your face. In the Oval Office with mountains in the background. In your face, America. They're all underground in studios. Operation Devolution. They're eliminating it from the internet as we speak because they don't want you to know the truth. They want to keep you in the dark and feed you BS. So what's happening in the rest of the world? Other than the fact that the government is becoming worthless because it's gone underground and they don't give a rat's rip about us. Except in Russia, they seem to care about the population. There's rioting now in Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Afghanistan. I call it Afghanistan, Indonesia, all over the world. What's happening? Well, first of all, the rivers are drying up. Even our Mississippi in the last 72 hours, it's lost 50% of its water. Unbelievable loss of water. What's happened is they put in a lot of dams which stopped the silt from coming down. They stopped the area from being flooded. That's good. But the mud didn't get there. And rather than pumping the muddy water out of the Mississippi, they've been pumping clean water out of it. And then as they channeled it, the speed of the Mississippi got faster and faster until all the clay disappeared. And as soon as the clay disappeared on the bottom of the Mississippi and the life is dead in the Mississippi, all of a sudden the surrounding areas, there's areas where we have to dig 350 feet deep for water. Well, now the agricultural land is sucking up the Mississippi River. So as they've channeled it with cement borders, as they put in silt barriers, as they're not allowed to harvest the silt at the bottom of the dam, which is loaded with gold and silver. As they're not allowed to do that, Zig Heil, EPA, got to do that at least once in the program. When the people fear the government is totalitarianism. When the government fears the people, we have a free people. We don't have a free people. We aren't free. The television tells us what to do. We bow to our God, the television. We bow to our God, YouTube, which is now mostly AI. People are listening to AI-generated lies. Constant lies. They put up a video of a squirrel. It gets 3 million hits. The guy gets paid. He can pay the Democratic Party. Another guy puts up a video of a squirrel. He gets 3,000 hits. Same video. 95% of hits on YouTube are fake. And now they're switching the scenes around. 95% of what you see is fake. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen so much lie. And it's all funded with your taxpayer dollars. You fund YouTube. So the rivers are drying up around the world. Not only the Mississippi, but the rivers in Iran are gone. The rivers in Pakistan are drying up. The one river that supplies Bangladesh with its water, the one river that supplies Pakistan with its water, they're all drying up. The Euphrates is drying up. The entire marshland used to support the marsh people. They used to fish and hunt and do all kinds of things. They're dry. The world is drying up, and as we get closer to this magnetic anomaly, and this magnetic anomaly gets closer to the sun's going to get weirder, bigger, hotter, and this Earth's going to go like this. Part of the Mississippi's beginning to crack like that. And that water's just seeping in there. And you see these agricultural lands have been having to dig deeper and deeper and deeper for water. And now the bottom is cracked and the mud is gone. In the last 72 hours, 50% of the Mississippi's gone dry. Now, you don't think that's going to, 40% of all commerce in the United States goes down the Mississippi River, $4 out of $10. They're going to have to start using trucks and trains, and the train tracks are owned by Alex Soros, and he hasn't repaired the train tracks. So we have train delay after train delay after train delay. The presidents have allowed foreigners to buy U.S. corporations and U.S. land. That's against the Constitution. Americans own American land. So what's Trump doing? Abso-freaking-lutely nothing. Has he bought the rail lines back from Alex Soros? No. Has he told the U.S. Corps of Engineers to make sure the roads, the railroads, and the waterways are clear? No. He hasn't done anything to obey federal law. All he's done is negotiate. Oh, he went in there with special forces and took out the president of Venezuela. All the wars he stopped are sprouting up again. So what's he done? Nothing. And now, the price of commerce, I think 70% of the grain leaving this country to go overseas goes down the Mississippi River and out to the other nations. You don't think that's going to spike the price of grain as we go over worn-out railroad tracks and roads that aren't being fixed because all the states are spending the money on illegal aliens because the Corps of Engineers has no gonads and they won't force the states to spend federal dollars on roads? Our gas isn't $4 a gallon like Trump says, it's $5 a gallon. Everything the government says is a complete lie. And now there's rioting around the world because people are beginning to understand, from Kazakhstan to Indonesia, from Indonesia to all the nations in Africa, as their rivers and their lakes dry up and there's no food and they're going to town to try and feed themselves and get water. And there is no water and there is no food and they're rioting. They want to eat. Even the Amazon River's drying up. But this Mississippi River, well, what the heck, 40% of the farmers aren't planting, so it's not really going to affect that much, is it? Thank you, BlackRock, for just telling Arthur Daniel Midlands to screw the farmers. Thank you, CIA. I bow to your Satanism. I bow to your worship of the devil. All hail your master Lucifer. You can kiss my rear. Yes, I was invited into another satanic cult a few days ago. I will not sacrifice a child to satisfy some blood-hungry demon called Lucifer, who's thrown out of heaven and can't find his way back. Like the head of Johns Hopkins University said, we don't cure people, we let them die so we can learn to fight our way back into heaven. Head of Johns Hopkins Medical University. So there is rioting all over the world, and it's going to spill out to here. You're going to see prices continue to rise. Okay, gold and silver took a dump because of a massive sell-off. They let it rise, then they sell it. Then they let it rise, then they sell it. The elites don't pay commission on trading silver and gold, not like we do. They don't pay taxes either. It's all done on the internet. The little people get screwed and the big people keep going. Anyway, now you know the rest of the story. There's rioting around the world. Maybe the elites will get the hint, but remember, the president is mid-level. When I was a citizen, I looked at the president. When I became an ambassador, an acting president, I looked at the people, because I'm a people. I looked at the president's level and the vice president's level, the ministers, and then I looked above that level. But if you're down here, you can't see up here. But if you're here, you can see up here and down here. If you're here, you learn everything. If you're down here and you don't have these titles, they don't tell you nothing. They tell you what they want you to hear. And they use you and abuse you and kick you out. So anyway, until Trump gets his head out of his rear, his presidency will be absolutely worthless. They'll continue to spray us. Prices will continue to skyrocket. You'll know when he gets his head out of his butt and Susie Wiles gets out of there when we're decensored. Until then, hunker down, folks. Try to look for alternate methods to cure yourself or heal yourself. Cure means that you smoke it, but to heal yourself, you know what I mean. So look for alternate methods to heal yourself of your diseases, because the medical community, there's so many nursing layoffs right now. There's no more money. It's all going to support refugees and illegal aliens. And Trump hasn't stopped that. It's been over a year. We'll see what he does. We don't know. Maybe he'll get his head out of his rear and his butt out of his head, and he'll do it. We don't know. We can pray. So pray for Trump and hunker down. God bless. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.